Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia video, and today we're going to do a character guide on Sherlotta. So Sherlotta is a fairly interesting character. Definitely not a must-have character, but she's really cool. She does do some cool support type things. Really good at like battery, brave gains, that type of character, right? So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at her. I do think out of the two, like Selphie's probably the more useful one of the two, but like if you like Sherlotta, she's gonna be really good as well, right? So we're going to go ahead, take a look at her artifacts. We're going to look at her spheres and then jump into a quick little showcase here. I'm a little iffy on how the showcase will go because I'm going to jump into the new Lufenia and actually maybe try to beat it. We'll see if we can get another 2-for-1 this week. But this Lufenia is a little bit trickier, so we'll talk about that when we go into it. So let's hop into her artifacts really quick. So with Sherlotta, Max Brave is actually way more important than attack. It's kind of like Selphie where Sherlotta and Selphie are kind of the same as where they're more like either brave gain attack or like gravity shave attack, but they're not really doing a lot of like actual brave hits. So Max Brave is really good. The other thing with Sherlotta is she has a new overhead buff we're going to talk about, but it basically scales on her Max Brave and it can do more damage based on how high her Max Brave is. So you want to get her Max Brave as high as possible. And then so you want Max Brave 330 and then Living Out Eternity Boost, which raises Max Brave and speed by 5% while she has her buff active. So really, you want to go all in on Max Brave with Sherlotta. I really don't think attack should be a priority with her herself. If you have nothing else to do, then sure, attack on there. But I like those two on Sherlotta as her best artifacts. Then we're going to take a look at spheres. So she does have like very specific spheres. So Sherlotta is also Encouragement Keystone Armor, which means that they do their brave gains are impacted heavily by Paladin Cecil's sphere. So I do believe they stack. So I'm putting 2 refined Paladin Cecil spheres on her. So I'm doing that for C slot. So if you've got Paladin Cecil, that's pretty much your number 1 in slot there. Otherwise, you just put something that's going to do party stats. So like Alphanod, Maria, Lou, these are very common ones I've recommended in the past. Those are just good generic like party buffing ones. And then the D slot, kind of same thing. With the D slot, focus on attack and actually Max Brave, just because Max Brave will help Sherlotta out as well. But so I just did Ash. This is a pretty common D slot one. I've actually used Ash quite a bit. So after granting a buff, party attack. So that's a pretty generic, decent one you can throw on there, right? Okay. So let's go ahead and hop into the showcase. So I'm a little nervous about this one because these bosses, it's not that they're like crazy hard, but the orb condition is really brutal on this guy here. So to like tick the orb up, you have to do 8.5k damage in a turn, which isn't bad. Like with new units, like you can do easily a mil damage per turn or whatever. But the thing that's brutal about it is if the target takes melee, range, or magic brave damage, it's -3, which is ridiculous. So they're heavily pushing Selphie and Sherlotta here because they don't do a lot of brave hits. They're like gravity attacks that just do HP damage. So they're technically not taking brave damage, so they won't tick the orb down. So they're really promoting them there. The other guy's not bad. Like this guy here, you can +2 if you delay. I guess they have the same thing, melee, range, or magic brave -3. So I guess they both have that. This guy's a little bit easier to tick because you have delay and 8.5k damage. So we'll see how this goes. I could end up dying in here due to the orb, but we'll just see how it goes. I'm kind of like, I did one run of this not understanding the -3 and I just died really quick. I'm like, why is this orb going down so fast? This is crazy. So I'm going to try it with Sherlotta and Selphie, and I'm going to do Ramza as well. Just because Ramza doesn't do like a crazy ton of brave hits, and I think having 2 out of the 3 characters not taking that -3, and as long as I can keep the damage up and just do big damage every turn, we're going to give it a shot here. So we're going to hop in, and then we'll talk about Sherlotta's kit as we go, right? Okay, let's just bring a Garnet friend, sure. And we'll do it like that. And I'm bringing Pandemonium because when you're running launches, you want that Pandemonium around. I do like having that. So Sherlotta, for those of you that are familiar with Sherlotta, she's kind of interesting as like a not traditional character. She focuses a lot on brave gains and then actually like attacks based on the party's max brave, and she's going to have a new thing. So right there, you see she's got that staff overhead. Okay, so this is kind of new. This is called Relic Staff. This comes from her LD, right? So basically what it does is whenever Sherlotta does brave gains, she's going to store that up into the staff, and the staff can store up to 3 times her max brave. So that's why her max brave base stat is really important, because you can get that staff number really, really high. And then what happens is she has her LD attack and her she gets an HP plus attack from her LD that will basically unload that damage from the staff. So you want that staff damage high before you like just jump right into the LD, right? So let's go ahead and start with Light of the Crystal. This basically is just a free skill use, or not free skill use, but it's just a free turn. And you can see just huge Brave gains. And look at her staff, just stacked all that Brave gain in there, like a ton of it, right? So that's her 15. Now keep in mind, her 15, 35, basically with Sherlotta, like you're just, what you want to do with her, there's not like a specific turn order or rotation you want to do. But basically, the general idea is get the staff to max damage before you unload the LD or the LD HP plus, and then just upkeep your buffs. So Light of the Crystal and Crystal Generation also have buffs, and then we'll talk about the EX when we get there. So that's Light of the Crystal. So let's do Crystal Generation. So what this does is it's going to do a Brave gain, and then it's going to do a Gravity of, I believe, 90%, something like that. Or no, this one doesn't gravity. Sorry, I'm thinking about the EX. The EX gravities, yeah. So the EX gravities, and then the LD does gravity as well. So those you want to look out for there. So we're going to use Crystal Generation here. And this is basically, it's going to take the party's Brave. It's going to do an attack for each character, and it's just going to be based on their max Brave. And it doesn't reduce the Brave of your party, just Sherlotta. So we'll do Crystal Generation here. And you can see it's just straight damage, right? It didn't actually do Brave hits. So, and because we did combine between the enemies, we did all that damage, like it keeps the orb at bay. So that's why they're trying to really push her here in this one. So I almost don't want to use my calls because it's going to like tick the orb down, right? So what I think I'm going to do with Ramza, let's just do an attack up here. Okay. And then, oh, see, but taking turns, that's the trade-off, right? You can take turns for free on this Lufenia without taking down the orb. That's the trade-off. It's just, you got to stagger how often you're actually doing Brave hits. So I'm going to waste a Brave hit here and do Ultima. So this is going to give them a -3, but we're going to be doing over 1 mil damage to both of them. So then it should only tick down 1 if I calculate this correctly. It depends on the order, though. It might do like the plus first and then the -3, so I could see them still going down to 7, but we'll watch it here. Okay. Yeah, just tick down 1. So the reason why I ticked down 1 is because we did -3 for doing the melee damage, or magic. Ultima's probably magic damage, but whatever damage is, basically you do Brave damage to it. But then we got +2 back for doing the mill damage. So it's kind of interesting how this orb works, right? All right, so Selfie, let's do a wall since we can take turns for free. I always like putting wall on with Selfie right away. Perfect. And then, I mean, we might as well take him to Rapture Town, right? Yeah, let's do it. Rapture Town. Get him in launch mode. That's what they want. And then we've got and then with these Brave gain characters, we've just got so much Brave, it's just crazy. And we're just going to town here. All right. So now Ramza's up. And so here's the thing. So now we're actually getting ahead of the orb here a little bit. Ramza, we can do his. We'll do this. Because this does have a delay in it. So that should help tick the orb. So we might gain from this here, even though we're doing attacks to them. We'll see. It's kind of an interesting orb. I do like it. It makes you think a little bit more, right? Like, I couldn't just immediately jump in with my Garnet Ramza sandwich and just like obliterate, right? I had to think about this one a little bit. So that's good. Nothing wrong with that. All right, so we saw Light of the Crystal. And you can see my staff is pretty beefy. Let's do another Light of the Crystal. Let's see if my staff is maxed out yet. Okay, yeah, my staff is basically maxed out because I didn't gain any from that. So I guess we've got the EX. We'll wait on the EX. Let's just show off the LD. So we're going to do Crystal Ray, which is the LD here. And actually, low-key, Amidatillion's a really good call to bring here because Amidatillion is also just doing gravity. So that won't trigger the -3. And then we're also putting debuffs on and wiping turns. So Amidatillion, I think, is a really good call to bring on this one if you guys are struggling with it. Okay. Perfect. So we're good. Orb looks good. So let's do Crystal Ray here. So we'll pop that off. So this is what enables the Relic Staff. And here it's going to unload the staff, and it should do a big chunk of damage. Yeah, we did a mill AoE before launching. So that was a ton of damage there. And once again, that had to do with the staff being maxed out. So now watch what's going to happen here. Okay, so that's going to reset. So now you see the staff lowered. So now we're reset there. But she's going to have a new HP plus we can use, and that's also going to unload the staff. So what we're going to do is, let's do an aura. So what we're going to do with Sherlotta next time is we're not going to do that new HP plus right away because she's going to chuck the staff. And we want to get those stacks up, or we want to get the Brave on the overhead up before we do that. So that's really the gist of how you play her, right? Sure, we'll do a drain. that's really the gist of it, is to just upkeep your buff. So you just periodically are using the 15 and 35 to upkeep that. And then you're just watching your staff, and you want to make sure that you keep that staff max before you unload it. Which, once again, the staff is going to unload just on the LD and then the HP attack that you get from the LD. So let's go ahead and keep going here. We need to do a shout, so let's do that. Make sure Ramza's all ready to go here. Perfect. And yeah, this fight now, you know, now that I played it once, I read it more carefully, I understand it, the fight seems like it's going down pretty easy, right? Because we're keeping the orb at bay, we're being careful on when we're doing brave attacks, all that stuff. Just managing that better because of the characters. I mean, we're taking synergy, right? We're doing what they want. So now you see we have Chuck Staff. So we're going to go ahead and chuck the staff, and you see we got 3 attacks of that now with the LD. So now what we do is basically we're going to chuck the staff, do a bunch of damage here. So let's chuck it. And that does actually do brave. That's like one of her only things that can actually break is her HP plus. But we did a ton of damage there. Yeah, that was 2 mil to that single target there. So very big damage there, right? And then, sure, we'll just drain with Selfie to get through the turn quick while launching. I mean, you see, guys, see how broken Selfie is? We're like, literally, we're going to go the whole fight, and we're just launching the whole way, doing tons of damage. This is why I like bring Pandemonium when you're bringing launchers. And sure, now I've got an Enervate I can pop off. Let's do that. Ramza's pretty darn good himself. And once again, we can afford to let the orb tick here a little bit because we've got Selfie and Sherlotta behind, kind of doing what they need to do. Okay, so we want to get Sherlotta a turn here though. So let's go ahead and sure, let's just drain again, I guess. I guess I could have walled or aura'd, but that's fine. We just want to get back to Sherlotta. Okay. So yeah, I think this Lufenia is going to be going down here. Oh, they cut in order. I took too many turns in a row. That's fine. Hopefully it's nothing lethal here. Sure, that's fine. We can heal that back up. Oh, wait, except he's getting like 3 turns in a row. Okay. Oh, dear. I might have put myself into the point where I can't win, which is fine. We'll just finish up the showcase, and I'll just redo this run later, and I'll record like a good run of this. Oof, yeah, it's going to get iffy. All right. Somehow we're still alive. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to hop into summon mode here and kind of get things under control. Maybe I can still pull this one out, but I think if he's under HP nullification, okay, no, he can still take damage. All right, we might be okay here. We may be able to save this. So let's go ahead and we're going to pop off the EX here. So basically what this does, this is the 90% gravity. So the LD is 100% gravity. This is 90% gravity. Okay, it does a battery. And this also restores her crystal generation, which is her 35, which is good because it doesn't have a lot of uses on it. And that's actually a pretty strong attack that she has, right? And then this comes with like boosting party stats and some generic buffs on that as well. So you want to do that once in a while to keep that up. Let's go ahead and let's, yeah, our staff is pretty big right now. So let's chuck the staff. Big damage on that staff chuck. And I think what I can do here, honestly, because we've pretty much shown off Sherlotta, right? So I think we can hop right out of the summon. As long as the enemy doesn't jump turns on me, I think I'm just going to go out of this, and we're going to hop right into a... I'm going to Galvanize here because I actually want to heal a little bit. Okay. And then I think what we'll do is we'll jump right into a burst phase with Ramza. Whoever, whether it's Ramza or Garnet, whoever's there, we're just going to hop into it. All right, let's do one of these and do a little delay as well. Yep. Perfect. Smack these guys up a little bit. I mean, with the launching and the heavy damage from Sherlotta on those staff chucks, I mean, we're doing plenty of damage here. So the fact, like, when you say, oh, only 3 LDs, but then each LD use comes with 3 chuck staffs, so you're getting a lot of damage out of that, right? All right, so we're going to drain here because we need some healing again. Yep. Now we're fully healed up. Good, good, good. All right. So of course it's going to turn out not being on a Ramza turn. So hopefully we can get the Ramza turn before they jump turns on us. Let's go ahead and... Yeah, I mean, our staff is full again, so I guess we'll chuck it again. All right, let's hope they don't jump cut turns here. Otherwise, we might be in trouble. If we die, it's not a big deal. We'll still call it a showcase. Yeah, he's going to cut. Hopefully it's not too bad. If we can actually act right after him. Nope, he's got 3 turns now. All right, we got to hope we survive this. We might not. We'll see. He's taking 500 turns. Yep, that's fine. Just don't kill us, please. He's doing an all attack. This might kill us. Okay. All right, one more. Just got to survive one more. Meteor. This is probably going to kill Sherlotta. Yeah, she's out of here. All right, so anyways, guys, we'll call that the showcase. I'll hop in and get this again next time. Like, all I would have had to do is like have a burst phase right before that, and we would have had it done. So we're pretty close. But anyways, guys, let me know what you think of Sherlotta. Like I said, upkeep the buffs. Make sure that staff is stacked up before you chuck it. And then upkeep your buffs with your 15, your 35, and your EX, and you're good to go. So yeah, very fun character. Let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.